George Piparo 74 Chevrolet gets better mileage now than it got before. The only difference, a fresh set of champions. Ralph Mazzillo 72 AMC Matador gets better mileage now than it got before. The only difference, a fresh set of champions. No matter what you drive, a fresh set of Champion spark plugs alone can help mileage and performance. Which side is your car on? Get better mileage. Fill her up with Champions.
Most people's biggest investment is their home. But their second biggest investment could be in here, their car. So protect it with Quaker State motor oil. Regular changes with Quaker State can help reduce costly engine repairs. Made from high-quality Pennsylvania-grade crude oil, you can find Quaker State in more places than ever. HD, Super Blend, or Deluxe. Your second biggest investment, your car, is well worth the investment in Quaker State.
This touchdown came against Buffalo in last year's playoffs while we were on our way to the Super Bowl championship. This is the hat that I wore that day, and this is the hat that I wore a few weeks later. Members of the NFL USO Tour wear it each year on their goodwill trip to hospitals and other installations in the Far East. Each year, USO Tours bring great moments to a lot of great guys halfway around the world, and you help make it possible when you support the United Way. Thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service on behalf of the National Football League. And now for the halftime activities in Super Bowl X, let's go to Brent Musburger, Phyllis George, and Herb Cross.
Thank you very much, Pat Summerall. And Phyllis and Herb, never again will they say a dull Super Bowl. Those two catches by Lynn Swann alone were more exciting in 4 quarters of some Super Bowls that I've watched, Herb.
Well, no question about it. You know, whether the score at 10-7, of course, it indicates the excitement in this game. And you have to really be happy about it. But you have two great quarterbacks here, of course. And with Bradshaw and Staubach, they have the ability to get plays on their own and make big plays. We've seen that this half.
And although their Cowboys are going into the locker room ahead by 3, their confidence, I'm sure, is up. But they've got a tough second half ahead of them, don't they?
Well, you know, one play sometimes can turn a ball game around and set a mood. And I think that reversed when Tommy Henderson took the handoff from Pearson on that opening kickoff. Everybody kind of opened up and relaxed a little bit and let it all hang out, as Tom Brookshire might say.
Well, there wasn't any question about that. But I think it sort of set the tempo for the game, too, because both clubs started doing things that were uncharacteristic of either Dallas or Pittsburgh. You started to take gambles early in the game, and I think we're going to see that again in the second half.
It is such a pleasure, Phyllis, listening to Pat Summerall, because there he was, a kicker. I would have second-guessed Chuck Noll for not kicking a field goal earlier, and he talked about the wind, and sure enough, Jarrella misses down there.
That's right. Well, Pat, of course, knows what wind problems can be for kickers, and at the close end of the stadium, you saw that ball take off, and all of a sudden it drifted off to the left, and the wind does swirl down there, and of course, Chuck Noll's decision not to go for the field goal was right.
That hand of Mike Pearl that came up here said, Phyllis George, take us up with people in this super halftime show.
I would love to. We have hundreds and hundreds of young kids from 40 states and 17 foreign countries presenting for you some of the greatest sounds in American history. They performed in 38 countries over the years. The inception was in 1965. It's an educational program from the University of Arizona. I think we're going to enjoy it, and I really feel very privileged that we get a chance to hear these great kids perform.
which isn't very old compared to the ancient civilizations of Asia, Africa, and Europe. Some folks say we've come a long way. Others say we've got a long way to go. And you know, probably both are right.
They forgot to keep score. The Swiss are 700 and the Romans take no more. 200 years and just a baby. 200 years and just a child. Growing like a weed, kinda rough, kinda wild. And someday she's gonna be quite a lady. Yes, she's 200 years and just a baby.
Yes, 200 years. A country made up of practically every race and nationality under the sun. They all had their different kinds of music. Then came new songs and new dances, telling the story as it unfolded from the Virginia reel to rock, and from the Charleston to the hustle. centuries from where it all began. Musical director Herb Allen, directed by Ralph Carwell.
I tell you, Phyllis and Herb, you watch and listen to young people like that, and you get a lot of confidence in the next 200 years, folks. And Phyllis, I guess we use music about as much as any network ever has around sports this year. We wrapped an awful lot of football coverage with music.
We certainly did. You know, Brent, sometimes these pieces were funny, and sometimes they were touching mixes of song and football. But one which stirred a particularly warm response called back memories from the great Green Bay Packer dynasty in contrast to the team and the coach and the problems they had this year. Well, for obvious reasons, we at Super Bowl X think this is a particularly good occasion for all of us to see it again.
Of the way pictures of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another for the way we were. Can it be that it was all so simple then? Or has time rewritten every line? If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we? Memories may be beautiful, and yet what's too painful to remember, we simply choose to forget. So it's the laughter we will remember. Whenever we remember the way we were, the way we
The Super Bowl today will continue after this word from your local station. Poppy, who holds 3 jobs to support 2 sons and still makes you laugh, premieres Tuesday right after Good Times on CBS. Now let's travel around the league with American Express.
First half highlights. Irv Cross, a turnover right away. Bobby Walden, I thought the snap was pretty good to him.
The snap was good, but Walden had difficulty handling the snap from center. You can take a look at it as soon as it comes up here. Walden, who's 37 years old and a 12-year veteran, has been probably the most experienced guy on that Pittsburgh Steelers team. And Pittsburgh just seemed to, have all kinds of problems starting the ball game. Here it is right here. Now watch the snap here. Off to his right slightly. A good snap. Couldn't hold on to it. The Cowboys stop him there, setting up their first score.
And here they come right now. Staubach is going to hit Drew Pearson, who made that miracle catch to eliminate the Vikings. And Pearson sprints into the end zone. Now Terry Bradshaw on that first pass to Lynn Swan.
This is a miraculous catch. Now watch this. Swan is well covered here. Now he goes up. He's only 6 feet tall, but has tremendous jumping ability and makes a great catch.
Randy Grossman was wide open here.
We're talking about teams gambling a little bit. This is a little unusual for the Steelers. Grossman goes in for a scoring, a good play-action play.
And Robert Newhouse ran very well on this sequence here for the Cowboys.
We have that good line blocking up front there. Newhouse is a quick, powerful back and picks up good yardage there.
Tony Fritsch kicks this field goal right here. That put Dallas up, of course, by 3. But we got to show you that last catch by Lynn Swan. Didn't lead to a score at all by the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a play this is.
A fantastic catch. Bradshaw going back here, just letting the ball go as far as he can. Now Swan's well covered. Now watch this. The ball's tapped, keeps his eye on it, and comes down with it for a miraculous catch.
And so, at the end of the first half, it's 10-7. We'll be right back to talk a little bit about what the Pittsburgh Steelers might have to do in the second half to get back at this ball game in just a moment. What do the Steelers have to do to bring back-to-back Super Bowls to Pittsburgh?
My guess is simply this, that Lynn Swann's had an incredible day catching the ball. I think they'll put the ball in the air this second half, so watch as it bombs away from the Steelers.
What are we going to look from Dallas, quickly?
That's Tom Landry.
All right.
The great second half of football coming up. Then we'll have a locker room show. We'll review all the highlights of the ball game, and then out to the Phoenix Open Golf. A lot of action coming up right here on CBS.
Around the League has been sponsored by the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Get set for the second half of Super Bowl number 10. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys lead it 10-7 as both teams have returned from their halftime instructions, and Tony Frisch is set to kick it off for the Cowboys. In the direction of Mike Collier, Dave Brown, and Mel Blount. So far, they've kicked away from Collier. Here comes Frisch. High kick in the direction of Blount again. He takes it at the 8. Cowboys down quickly, and a good hit by the special teams. Howard and Henderson, the first men down. Tom Henderson with the big hit.
Pat, let's see in the second half if Bradshaw and the Steeler coaching staff don't believe they can throw the football. They've had some people open. You can see Bradshaw's completed 6. So has Roger Staubach. 102 yards against only 47. They've rushed for 92, and Franco Harris is about on schedule, too, with 40-some-odd yards. But Bradshaw had some open receivers, and Dallas better cover him up.
It is first down Steelers, the ball at the Steeler 26. Harris gets the call on first down. Larry Cole rolls back inside, but some help from Ed Jones to stop him after about 3.
Jones on the tackle.
Opening moments of period number 3 in Super Bowl 10. First half, outstanding football.
One penalty, an illegal procedure, and not a turnover, only the bad snap handled by Walden. That's quite a half.
Second down, 7 to go for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw fakes, goes back outside to Franco Harris. No place to go. Harvey Martin from the opposite side of the field after he is cut off by Too Tall Jones.
Let's take a look at Harvey Martin, and you'll see number 72 come in, too. It's just a toss after the inside fake. Watch Martin. This is sort of search and destroy. Too Tall has already arrived, and Franco Harris is looking up about 7 inches. There's Too Tall.
Leroy Jordan said before the game, if we can keep Franco Harris from 100 yards, we can win. So far, as Tom Brookshire just pointed out, he's just over 40. And now the Steelers have 3rd and 12. Back goes Bradshaw. Larry Brown can't hold on. I don't know. Incomplete pass. Hit by Cliff Harris.
Now, Cliff Harris did not make first-team All-Pro at safety, and I'll tell you, he ought to sue. Number 43 plays the ball and the receiver better than anybody. Bradshaw getting good protection. Look at Cole working against Martin. And watch number 43 now. Stay with it. Broke up a little bit, but he also broke up the play.
Bobby Walden back to kick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Golden Richards in single safety. The Cowboys try to block it. Richards, fair catch signal. Juggled a little bit, but held on. So the Cowboys get their first offensive chance of the second half as Roger Staubach brings out his offensive unit.
You know how close they got to blocking that punt, and I watched the Steelers work against that. Ganging up in the middle by the Cowboys all yesterday afternoon. They almost got that one.
Very close. A crowd at the Orange Bowl, 80,187. And a lot of those standing in the aisle. Super Bowl record set in Los Angeles in Super Bowl number 7, 90,182. But no more could get here today. First down, Dallas. Ball at their own 42. Pitch back to Preston Pearson. He dipped inside, cut outside. Mel Blount played it as well as you can.
Little misdirection out of the I formation by Landry, and it fooled absolutely nobody. And again, the Pittsburgh secondary They play the line of scrimmage against the run as well as anybody. Here it is. The misdirection should work. Nye's out in front. Preston Pearson, the former Steeler, has a little bit of a problem. In fact, he's got a heck of a lot of a problem. Look at this. Old friends.
Problem in the person of Mel Blount and Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker who came out to help. It's 2nd and 10. Straight ahead pop for Doug Dennison.
The middle linebacker, we've mentioned him often, and we should, Jack Lambert. I have never known anybody to come in this league and start every game as a rookie and do the job he did a year ago. And he's just improved. He's not old enough to call age, but man, he is some kind of a middle linebacker.
And he doesn't look like what you have in mind the pattern of a middle linebacker should be. He's 6'5" and about 218 pounds. Most of it in the heart.
Rodgers got to put the ball up somewhere.
Billy Joe Dupree, the tight end, is split wide left, shotgun formation. Staubach to the outside, intended for Richards, picked off by J.T. Thomas. First interception so far. Thomas to the 30, to the 25, inside the 25 is Thomas, the cornerback. Watch that again.
Here's another one of those great #1 draft choices. You're going to see Thomas come out of nowhere. Again, he's the underman in the zone, plays it beautifully, and now this guy can run with it. Another thing the Steelers do extremely well. And boy, they go back on offense. Here's Golden and company. The first turnover might be the largest of this game.
They put the ball down at the 25-yard line of Dallas and Terry Bradshaw. With Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris, the running backs take it over in good shape. Harris gets the ball on first down, cuts back inside for about 2 or 3. Middle linebacker Leroy Jordan came out to make the tackle.
Well, that time, Harvey Martin was completely fooled and ran inside looking for something. And Blyer had a very easy time of handling it. There wasn't a lot of yardage on the play, but perhaps a little confusion on the Dallas defense right now.
Steeler offensive line is the one that started the game. Cole, Black, Mansfield, Mullins, and Gravel. Stallworth split left, Swan split right. Harris again cuts back against the grain, his favorite move. Charlie Waters on the tackle.
Again, Franco likes to run left, but this time they start him off right to the weak side of the formation. And Pat, you described it. You're behind the Dallas defense. Watch this. Starts out like he's going dead right. Watch him cut back inside of Jethro Pugh. 230-pounder. Joe Paterno keeps trying to get him to go back to Penn State.
That would be against the law. 11 minutes left, third period. Dallas leads by 3, but Pittsburgh again. Got inside the 15, got enough for a first down before Mel Renfro hung on to make the tackle.
You know what else Franco Harris does except be the MVP of last year's Super Bowl? He's involved in more charities and more young organizations and all around Pittsburgh than any person I've ever known. His time is never that valuable, and somehow he just sort of rolls in the Super Bowls and he doesn't get tight. And some of the other Steelers were tight, but not Franco, right?
Not at all. Not Franco. He was checking out what kind of shoes to use yesterday, and that was his main concern. I'll tell you how hard the wind is blowing. Bradshaw makes a reverse, gets away from Pugh, and Pugh finally chases him down with Ed Jones.
There was a busted play where Terry Bradshaw just couldn't get the handoff made.
He wisely kept it.
Watch the operation now. It starts out that way. Starts to do it and keeps it to that side. That wasn't a bust. He meant to do it. But I saw some hesitation almost at the moment of truth. He might have wished he'd handed it off.
He wound up under Jethro Pugh and too tall Jones. That's about 550 pounds. So now the Steelers have 2nd and 12.
And Stallworth and Lynn Swan are flanked to the left of your screen.
Same side.
People.
Blitz is on. Overthrown. Bradshaw had to hurry. Good coverage against the blitz.
And solo coverage. Mel Renfro and Mark Washington stayed with their men and had them completely covered up. The ball was thrown away.
So it'll be 3rd down. as Frenchie Fuqua checks in place of Rocky Blyer. And Dallas makes mass substitutions in their defensive unit. Randy White, Randy Hughes, Calvin Peterson.
All right, you're going to get the three-man front. Remember that Frenchie Fuqua is not a great blocker, but he's a good pass receiver.
Franco Harris, one of the few runners who uses a mouthpiece. We just saw him shove in his mouth. Bradshaw back to pass. Pass is broken up by Mark Washington. Swan got a hand on it, but just touched it. And we'll see Girella again.
You know, he almost caught that ball.
I know it.
Lynn Swan. And as John McKay has said before, he just didn't have any good players at USC.
Yeah.
But O.J. Simpson and Swan and the different people he puts in here do a pretty good job, don't they?
That ball slipped out of Bradshaw's hand, perhaps just a bit. Girella again shading his eyes, but the sun's not usually a factor in kicking field goals. At the 23. This one, no good again. A little altercation. Jethro Pugh grabbed Cliff Harris and said, "We need you."
Well, Jack Lambert was after Cliff Harris. That's the reason Jethro grabbed the defensive safety.
So Girella heads back to the sideline, a little less confident than he might have been before this game started. 10-7 Dallas.
The second field goal. Now Lambert's walking by. Here's Harris telling him something and grabs the kicker. And Lambert at 6'5" works him over. From Washita, Arkansas to Jack Lambert's a long way to go, isn't it?
Long way up. Dallas takes it over at their own 20-yard line. Mike White jumped and got back. First down for the Cowboys. Preston Pearson got some room, and Preston gets about 9. Good run by Preston Pearson, and Jack Lambert, who spent most of that last time out talking to the officials, had to make the tackle. Hello from all over the country.
The thing you can never teach a running back, and Preston Pearson has always had the ability, is when not to be in too much of a hurry. He can get in behind people and let everything happen and then just sort of start it out again. He did a beautiful job that time of finding what little hole there was.
Double tight ends for Dallas, Ron Howard and Billy Joe Dupleix. Newhouse by Lambert. But I think he got the first down.
Well, Roger tried to call a false trap. He tried to pull the offensive right side of the line outside right. And I'll tell you, Lambert and company didn't buy it at all. If they made a first down, they might have lost a player.
31.
Cowboys shotgun so far, when Staubach has chosen to use it, has not been too successful. 1 out of 4 for 14 yards. First down, Dallas been on their own 31-yard line. Ahead handoff, and nothing doing. It was hit almost as soon as he got the ball. Lambert again involved. Hey, really hot.
Pittsburgh defense from about the second period on has been really banging. Watch the action now, not only when the play is on, but right afterward. Here it is, snugged up tight. Newhouse gets drilled right away. That's Greenwood. Now watch Lambert, number 58. And they want the Cowboys bad.
Burton Wallace came across to trap Greenwood. Nobody was there. Newhouse did well to hold on to the ball at 2nd and 10. See how cautious Staubach is about throwing. Newhouse on a draw. Gets about 5. Jack Lambert and Mike Wagner. Watch L.C. Greenwood.
Now they finesse Ernie Holmes a little bit with this draw. They get Lambert caught just a little in between. Here he makes contact with Fitzgerald. And I'll tell you, Lambert may be biting people underneath the pile. I can't tell.
He is really hot about something. Still mad at Cliff Harris, I imagine.
How much money's involved, Patrick? I know you follow those kind of things.
$15,000 to the winner. $7,500 to the loser.
I'd bite you for 15 grand.
Not now. 3rd and 4. Blitz by the Steelers. Staubach gets away from 1, gets away from 2. Is close to a first down. I don't know if he got it or not. And again, Jack Lambert. Look who's looking on. Behind Brent Musburger and Irv Cross, Walter Cronkite. There he is.
He looks a little colder than we do. I can't believe that. There's Walter. Of course, he sails a lot. That makes a difference. He's maybe not as used to it, huh?
He should be. Not a first down. Staubach did not quite get it. And the Dallas punting unit has come onto the field. Lambert, who has really been active of late, will stay on the special team.
And that was only Staubach's second carry. One of those was when he had to lose yardage, and he picked up 4. Looks to me like Roger is not intending to run much. Maybe he's been told, don't take a chance. The Steelers, they put you on your shield.
Chuck Noll looking on alongside Terry Bradshaw. Glenn Edwards back to Pittsburgh along with Dave Brown. Edwards talking to the officials. Mitch Hups in the game to punt for Dallas. But as we told you before, he is liable to do anything. Kyle Davis, by the way, is the snapper for Dallas, the rookie from Oklahoma. And a good one. Hups catches a fine punt. It'll hang a long time. Dallas down in a hurry. Edwards got back to about the 24 after a 44-yard punt by Hups. Bob Brunig again on the stop, along with Roland Woolsey. There goes Davis back to the Pittsburgh bench. It's still 10-7 Dallas. Tom Landry, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and their coach Chuck Noll. Steeler ball, 1st and 10. Ball at their own 24. Swan comes in motion. Harris gets the handoff. Leroy Jordan the first to hit. But you need help with Franco.
You almost feel like the Steeler defense, though, has turned on the entire ball club. A ferocious series, really, the last time. They really beat up on Dallas on the defensive side, and that really helped the offensive unit. There's no doubt about it. Again, Blyer's back in there, the blocker. Bradshaw hasn't left, has he?
2nd and 7. No, he hasn't. Right now, he's in a passing situation. Harris and Blyer, the running backs. Outside, Swan caught it. Never saw the ball coming. Completely done on reflex.
And the great thing about Bradshaw is that even though he throws a hot pass, it's easy to catch. Now, he's a very strong guy. I've watched him throw it 78 yards, just flat-footed. But look at this. It has a lot of spin on it. And Swan has those soft hands. 11 touchdown catches, but none today, not yet.
He's caught 3 for 97 yards. That tackle, of course, by Mark Washington, who's been with Swan all day and covered him well, but hasn't been able to stop him. Dallas in the shift, Bradshaw to Blyer. Blyer maybe 2. L.C. Greenwood looking on from the sideline. One of the outstanding members of that steel curtain defense.
You know, his blocking of a couple of Fran Tarkenton passes a year ago might have taken a lot out of the Viking offense. He's so tall, he cuts off the whole right side of the field for the offensive quarterback.
He's 6'6". 2nd down for his Steeler offensive unit right now. Bradshaw to Harris. Somebody got a hand on him, but he is tough to get down. Cliff Harris again had to make the tackle.
I'll tell you, Harvey Martin had a pretty good hand on him, too, and Franco just ripped it. Again, Franco's not looking for big daylight now. It's just that stutter step. It's a counter. Now, they get some pretty good wood on him, and Franco right now is just looking for yardage straight ahead, right over the top of Cliff Harris.
18 carries for 65 yards for Franco Harris. Right now, it's 3rd, about 1.5 yards. Harris might get it again, huh? Bradshaw's going to put it up. Ball hit up in the air. Larry Brown, the attendant receiver. Charlie Waters on the coverage, and a good pop from Waters.
A good call by Bradshaw. He thought he'd just bring him out, stop him, bring him across. Charlie Waters has played extremely well. I can recall against the Redskins that, you know, he was very high, and he's been a young man that's had operations, like 7 of them in 6 years, but he's done a real good job.
Golden Richards back for Dallas. Bobby Walden to punt for Pittsburgh. Dallas has been trying to block these punts all day, and here they come again. They almost got it again, too. Richards signals for the fair catch at the 18. Henderson back close, and so was Cliff Harris to blocking that punt, 34-yard kick by Walden. And so, with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left in the third period, Dallas still leads 5-3. The toughest ticket in town and for a long time. The Super Bowl number 10. The Cowboys take it over. 1st and 10 at their own 20. Steve Furness replaces Joe Green in the Pittsburgh defense. Pearson goes in motion. There's Newhouse with good yardage.
Pat, you want to see a guard and a tackle work together. Watch Blaine Nye and Rayfield Wright. You mentioned Furness, who just come in, who is a stunning defensive tackle. A little bit more action out of him than Joe Green because he's not as strong. Now watch the right part of your screen. 61 goes out, sets him up. Rayfield runs it. A real simple scissor block. Newhouse hits there just about right.
Takes a lot of timing, a lot more than it looks like. We'll stall back now. 6-yard pick out for Newhouse. 2nd and 4. Back gets to Pearson this time. Pearson gets out to about the 29, short of a first down before L.C. Greenwood stops him.
If Pearson would happen to be the guy that's the big factor, wouldn't that be something that Tom Landry had the presence of mind to say, well, Pittsburgh has too many backs, and I might not have as many, and I think I'll give Preston Pearson a shot?
Pearson's story, of course, is well known. He's played in Super Bowls with 3 different teams. With Pittsburgh, with Baltimore, and now with Dallas. 3rd and about a half yard. Newhouse gets the call, and he may not have it. Andy Russell and L.C. Greenwood, the first 2 to hit him, but it's going to be close.
It's a pretty subtle thing, but I saw the entire line of scrimmage for the Steelers sort of take an inside move after the play had been set by Roger Staubach. They say you get the Super Bowls and you're the Super Bowl champions because of defense, and boy, the Steelers have done nothing to throw that one out the window.
Steelers, of course, trying to win 2 straight, and accomplished by the Dolphins and by the Packers and nobody else. Dallas, first down. In the insert, Tom Landry calling the play, telling Preston Pearson what he wants run on first down. Landry says, by the way, that the reason he always looks so serious when our cameras pick him up on the sideline is that he's thinking about what play he's going to call next.
All right, I'll buy that.
All that brings back to Pearson with no place to go. He fights for about 2. Dwight White.
Dallas has not done a lot of running of the football against this defense.
A very difficult defense to run against. Tom Henderson returned the opening kickoff after taking a handoff from Preston Pearson. Thank you, sir.
Super Bowl. Super Bowl.
That's where you are, my friend. Second down now for Dallas. Doug Dennis in the deep back. Fakes to him. Outside, Newhouse has it. Newhouse up close to the first down marker and out of bounds by Andy Russell.
L.C. Greenwood just put the former Heisman Award winner, Maxwell Award winner, all the way down. Watch Roger go sort of a semi-roll inside after the fake. Gets it off, and L.C. knocked him down there as Newhouse made the catch. And then L.C. pulled him to his feet. A lot faster than Roger Wills.
Stallings, who handles the secondary for Dallas and the linebacker.
The only thing is 35. But don't worry about that. You just backing him up. He's coming here, and he'll be in position to make a play. That's just a couple of change-ups.
That lunge by Newhouse got another Cowboy first down. And Staubach is back. He's going to take off the distance. Flag is down. Staubach got about 4.
He really took off that time, and the Steelers had come with a twist with the tackle going to the outside, so it opened the middle up. It's going to be interesting. There might be an offensive call against Newhouse for trying to help from behind.
I think it's going to be a flip.
Newhouse tried to assist him, and Norm Schachter caught it.
That's only the second penalty of the game.
Now watch watch Roger Staubach go back and set up. Now, notice the tackles will go to the outside, and it does open up the middle. Fitzgerald picks him up, and now Roger can't get outside. The Steelers have closed him off, and Newhouse did clip from behind. He hit Andy Russell.
There's the mark off against the Cowboys. Ball goes back to the 26-yard line, where it's still first down for Dallas. But in dangerous
44, clipping, Dallas. You know that those Steeler linebackers, superb anyway, must have been working all the last 2 weeks at least on do not let Rodgers set you up and get outside.
Watch the clip.
All right, that's not a clip. That's a good block. The clip took place a little bit later on down there. Hey, Roger.
Try to show it to you again in a minute. Right now, we're back live. And Staubach is back to pass. This time he's got a lot of time. Staubach out of bounds at the 31.
You know something? He has really come a long way in knowing when not to challenge people. Here he's trying to get back, and Newhouse just takes Andy Russell right on through.
That was the play before. Now we're back to second down after a scramble by Staubach. He still has 17 to go for first down. White and Jack Ham took him out of bounds.
This is not an enviable position. I wouldn't like to be trying to pick up 17 yards, particularly all at once.
Second down for the Cowboys. Things have quieted down considerably since the first quarter. Newhouse the call on a draw play with nowhere to go. He fell for perhaps a yard before Lambert and Ham were close by.
And Dwight White. Steelers right now, their defensive unit, I think, is really taking it to the Cowboys. You can ask Robert Newhouse. He's getting a rest because of it.
Dallas began this game like they were going to try every play that had ever been diagrammed on any blackboard. But they've become very conservative. Now we have just 30 seconds left in the third period. They still lead. Dallas does.
Shotgun time?
Shotgun. Here it is. See how much time he has. A lot. Caught by Dennison. Oh, wait a minute. It's Pearson. Passing downs are his downs. Mel Blount on the stop.
Pearson's caught 9 passes in the last 2 playoff games. The big thing about the shotgun or spread is you get 5 receivers downfield right now.
And Staubach has a longer look at him. That's the end of the third quarter of Super Bowl 10 with the score.